Hey guys, welcome back to the Infamous Universe Q&A. In this series, I take your questions about Infamous and I answer them whether it's big, small, simple, or complicated. Now before we start today's episode, I want to make an announcement. I have decided that after a request from quite a few people, I am going to do an Infamous review. However, I don't think I should do a traditional one. I don't want to just make one video detailing all of my thoughts and complaints and likes and dislikes about the game, because that's so typical, and I feel like it would take me forever to make because I'm such a perfectionist. Instead, what I want to do is I want to play through the game from start to finish on either good or evil karma, or both, if that's what you want to see. I could do both. And I want to go through and just nitpick everything that I do like and I don't like about the game for that specific part. So instead of trying to record both sections of the game and get all this footage and edit it all together, which would take me a long ass time, I could just record it live on the spot and show you what I like and dislike right there in each episode of the playthrough. So tell me what you think about that. Do you want to see just a regular plain old review video, or do you want to watch me actually play through the game and detail what I like and don't like as we're going through it together? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, our first question today comes from Logan, and he asks, if you were to create your own character for the Infamous series, what would be the name, power, gender, etc.? Well, I've had an idea for a very long time. I would want the character to be female. I would want her to be very young, probably early 20s or late teens. She would be a bit of a delinquent. She likes to sneak out of her parents' house, and her parents, of course, don't like what she does. She is a rave girl. She loves to go to parties. She loves to dance. She hangs out at clubs all the time. And I don't have a name for her yet. I want to think of something unique instead of just pulling a random name out of my ass. But her power, I'm sure you can guess what her power is, but I don't want to say it in this video because I've had so many questions about that. People have asked me countless times, hey, can you make a video about what powers you want to see in the future games? Hey, what powers do you think we're going to see in the next title? Hey, if you could make your own power, what do you think it would be? I'm not mad. I'm actually glad you asked all those questions because I've decided to make a video dedicated only to powers. It's going to be another ideas video. And the reason I've decided to do this is because powers take a long time to flesh out, man. You got to think about, first of all, what the power is, what the power's called, what it's going to look like, what different abilities are going to be inside of the power set. You've got to go through all these different possibilities and figure out what works and what doesn't work. I probably sound like a game developer right now, honestly, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going to think about some power sets. I'm going to really try to explain them good. I want to get my own concept art. So here's the thing about the concept art. I've got someone helping me draw it right now. She is a fantastic artist. I don't want to say her name in the video because I don't know how she feels about being put on the spotlight or having her name thrown out on the internet, but just let it be known that she is an amazing artist, and I asked her to help me draw some concept art for the game, and she agreed. So I can't tell you when the video is coming out because I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know when she's going to get that art to me or how long it's going to take for her to draw it, but I just know that it's going to be fantastic, and in the meantime, I'm going to really think about how these powers are going to work, and hopefully you will enjoy that video when the time comes. Our next question comes from Brett. Once again, hey man, you were lucky enough to be on 2 episodes. Give yourself a pat on the back. He says, okay, here's another question and a what-if scenario I've got for you. Do you think in the next game it'll ever explain what happened to Delsin's parents and if their deaths will affect anything in the future? For example, what if Delsin finds out his parents were scientists working for a secret organization that somehow made him into the conduit he is today? Well, that's a pretty big leap. I don't think his parents were scientists that helped him become a conduit. However, I would not say it's too far-fetched to imagine they were working for an organization. I mean, it's possible that his parents were conduits, or at least one of them was a conduit, because how else would you get the conduit gene, right? It's passed down through genetics. Something we don't know about the conduit gene is if it skips generations. Maybe Delsin's grandparents had the conduit gene, his parents didn't, and then it was passed down to him. I mean, that's a possibility. The conduit gene has a lot of unexplained stuff going on with it. But anyway, back to the question at hand here. I think it would be very interesting if Delsin's parents were somehow involved with the NSA, like Quo and John. They had the conduit gene, they tested positive for it, and they were put in the NSA. Their job was to infiltrate the First Son. So what if Delsin's parents, or one of his parents, was involved with the NSA, tested positive for the conduit gene, was also sent to infiltrate the First Sons, and was discovered and killed or held hostage or tortured, something along those lines. That would add some really interesting backstory, not only to Delsin's character, but to Reggie as well, seeing where their parents came from. I don't know how possible that is, though. I think that's more or less me just fangirling about the possibility of his parents being involved in the NSA and meeting old characters from past games. But we don't really know. We don't know anything about their parents. They mention them one time in the game. Reggie's like, oh, did this make your parents proud? Misdemeanor vandalism. And we never know anything about them. We don't know if they're dead. We don't know if they moved away, if they abandoned them. Maybe... I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I would love to hear about Delsin's parents. It would be great, especially if Sucker Punch intertwines them into the lore and the backstory of the other games. I don't know how they would do it, but it'd be really great to see them, or at least see what happened to them. Something else I just thought of. What if Delsin's mother... I don't know why I picked his mother for this, but whatever. What if his mother is a conduit, and she was taken by Augustine when Delsin was younger, and she was made to be a conduit agent for Augustine, kind of like Celia. You know how in one of the previous episodes I mentioned a TV series based around prime conduits that would work for Augustine? They were part of this secret conduit group that Augustine had. What if Delsin's mother was part of that? I mean, you never know. If you look at Assassin's Creed 3, Connor's mom was an assassin, and you never even knew it because she died at the beginning of the game. And then somewhere along the lines, you're talking to Achilles one day, and he's like, oh yeah, your mother was a great assassin. I think it'd be really awesome if they did something with Delsin's parents instead of just leaving it blank. Well, I know we only got through 2 questions today, but I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Q&A. If you haven't seen my gaming setup, click the link on the screen right now and go check that out. I made that video as a special surprise for reaching 2,000 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you once again so much for helping me reach that goal. Don't forget to leave your comments down below for the next episode of the Q&A. If you enjoy my content, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share my videos on social media, and I'll see you all next time.